Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Classes of Mail. My name is Alan Gigax, and we are going to read more from the Jcam today, and we are nearing the end. It is getting a little exciting for me. We are on to Article 41, the letter carrier craft, and after Article 41, there are only 2 articles left, and they're both really short ones. So once that's all done, we're going to be through with this contract. We will have read the whole freaking contract together. That's kind of amazing. But we can't get there unless I stop jibber-jabbering and start reading this contract. So, Article 41, Letter Carrier Craft. It's divided into 5 sections: posting, seniority, miscellaneous provisions, city carrier transportation drive-out agreements, and National Joint City Delivery Committee. Section 3 is the most interesting, in my opinion, the miscellaneous provisions. We will get to that when we get to it. But for now, here we go. Article 41, Letter Carrier Craft Article. Article 41 is known as the Letter Carrier Craft Article, negotiated specifically to cover letter carriers. Prior to 1994 negotiations, prior to 1994 negotiations, see, this is another place that needs a comma. Prior to 1994 negotiations, the national agreement was negotiated jointly with other postal unions. Article 41 establishes fundamental letter carrier rights under the contract: a regular carrier's right to accumulate seniority and the right to bid on, obtain, and hold specific duty assignments based on seniority. 41.1.A, Section 1, Posting. A. In the letter carrier craft, vacant duty assignments shall be posted as follows. 1. A vacant or newly established duty assignment not under consideration for reversion shall be posted within 14 calendar days from the day it becomes vacant or is established, unless a longer period of time is negotiated locally. All city carrier craft full-time duty assignments other than letter routes, carrier technician assignments, parcel post routes, collection routes, combination routes, official mail messenger service, special carrier assignments, and night routers shall be known as full-time reserve letter carrier duty assignments. The term unassigned regular is used in those instances where a full-time letter carrier does not hold a duty assignment. Positions currently designated in the letter carrier craft. City carrier includes the duty assignment of official mail messenger service in the Washington, D.C. Post Office. Special carrier. Carrier technician. Positions that may be in the future designated in the letter carrier craft. Changes in the foregoing position title shall not affect the application of this provision. 41.1.A.1. When a position is under consideration for reversion, the decision to revert or not to revert the position shall be made not later than 30 days after it becomes vacant. If the decision is made not to revert, the assignment must be posted within 30 days of the date it becomes vacant. The employer shall provide written notice to the union at the local level of the assignments that are being considered for reversion and of the results of such consideration. The issue of reverting a vacant full-time route with current inspection data was addressed in the settlement for case blah 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 as follows. Quote, the parties recognize the employer's right to revert vacant duty assignments pursuant to Article 41.1.A.1 of the National Agreement. However, under current regulations, determining whether an established city delivery route is full-time, as defined in Handbooks M39, Section 242.122, and M41, Section 911.2, will be made using one of the following procedures. A 6-day mail count and inspection in accordance with the provisions of Handbook M39. A route adjustment pursuant to Section 141 of Handbook M39, provided the data used is reasonably current and from the current carrier assigned to the route, or the regular carrier assigned to the route. Evaluation through a national jointly agreed upon route evaluation process. Evaluation through an authorized developed joint route evaluation process. End quote. Unassigned regulars. The definition of unassigned regular was changed in the 2001 National Agreement by removing that part of the prior definition that provided they, quote, are excess to the needs of the delivery unit, end quote. This change makes clear that any full-time regular letter carriers not holding a bid assignment are unassigned regulars. Whether or not they are access to the needs of the delivery unit is irrelevant. This change was made to remove inconsistencies with other sections of the contract, such as Article 41.1.8.2 and Article 12. Posting for bid. Article 41.1.8.1 provides for the posting of a vacant duty assignment for bid within 14 days after it becomes vacant, or in the case of a newly established assignment, within 14 days of its creation, unless a longer term is locally negotiated. However, when a newly vacant duty assignment is under consideration for reversion, management has a maximum of 30 days after the date the duty assignment is vacated to make the decision to either revert the position or post it for bid. The time limit for posting was changed in the 2006 National Agreement. Note that the number of days was only part of the change. The time limit that was once 5 working days is now 14 calendar days. Notwithstanding negotiated language in the local party's LMOU, the intent of this change is to accommodate those offices with an automated bidding process that requires 14 days for posting. In such situations, the controlling language would be the 14 days in Article 41.1.A.41.1.A.1. There we go. A duty assignment is a set of duties and responsibilities within a recognized position regularly scheduled during the specific hours of duty. The 5 routes on a carrier technician swing or group constitute a full-time duty assignment. The carrier technicians perform all the duties of the assignments they work. Reserve letter carrier, formerly known as floater, leave replacement, vacation regular, etc., is a bid position with scheduled hours of duty and work days. 41.1.8.2. 2. Letter carriers temporarily detailed to a supervisory position, 204B, may not bid on vacant letter carrier craft duty assignments while so detailed. However, nothing contained herein shall be construed to preclude such temporarily detailed employees from voluntarily terminating a 204B detail and returning to their craft position. Upon return to the craft position, such employees may exercise their right to bid on vacant letter carrier craft duty assignments. The duty assignment of a full-time carrier detailed to a supervisory position, including a supervisory training program in excess of 4 months, shall be declared vacant and shall be posted for bid in accordance with this article. Upon return to the craft, the carrier will become an unassigned regular. A letter carrier temporarily detailed to a supervisory position will not be returned to the craft solely to circumvent the provisions of Section 1.8.2. Form 1723 assignment order shall be used in detailing letter carriers to temporary supervisor positions, 204B. The employer will provide the union at the local level with a copy of the Form 1723 showing the beginning and ending of all such details. While city letter carriers temporarily detailed to a supervisory position, 204B, may not bid on vacant city letter carrier craft duty assignments while so detailed, they may bid on the multi-craft positions of VOMA or examination specialist while on detail. And there's a citation here. 41.1.8.3. 3. The existing local procedures for scheduling fixed or rotating non-work days and the existing local method of posting and of installation-wide or sectional bidding shall remain in effect unless changes are negotiated locally. Local implementation. NALC branches may establish local rules regarding fixed or rotating days off and the scope of posting and bidding by section or installation-wide through local implementation procedures under Article 30 of the National Agreement. Such rules are then contained in an LMOU, which must be read in conjunction with Article 41. Fixed or rotating days off are negotiated pursuant to Article 30.B.2, and the scope and method of posting are negotiated pursuant to Article 30.B.21 and 30.B.22. 41.1.8.4. 4. No assignment shall be posted because of a change in starting time or in non-scheduled days, except as provided in Section 1.8.5 below. No overtime payment will be made for a permanent change in starting time. 5. Whether or not a letter carrier route will be posted when there is a change of more than 1 hour in starting time shall be negotiated locally. Local implementation. Local negotiations pursuant to Article 30.B.21 and 30.B.22 may determine whether a route will be posted when there is a change of more than 1 hour in starting time. 41.1.8.6. 6. When a fixed schedule non-workday is permanently changed, the new non-workday shall be posted. 7. Unassigned full-time carriers and full-time flexible carriers may bid on duty assignments posted for bids by employees in the craft. If the employee does not bid, assignment of the employee may be made to any vacant duty assignment for which there was no senior bidder in the same craft and installation. In the event there is more than one vacancy due to the lack of bids, these vacancies may be filled by assigning the unassigned full-time carriers and full-time flexible carriers, who may exercise their preference by use of their seniority. In the event that there are more unassigned full-time carriers and full-time flexible carriers than vacancies, these vacancies may be filled by assigning the unassigned employees by juniority. In the event there are more unassigned full-time carriers and or full-time flexible letter carriers than residual vacancies, the residual vacancies may be filled by assigning the unassigned employees by juniority, inverse seniority. Dude, why am I struggling with this? Well, the good news is that the end of Part 7 is exactly what's written right below it in the interpretive part of the contract, which is its own separate issue. Dude, I got to get my act together. I'm going to have to re-record this whole thing. So, let's focus here. All right, moving on. Reserve regulars are not unassigned regulars, and this section does not apply to them. When there is no bid, the assignment of an unassigned regular or full-time flexible letter carrier shall be by juniority, inverse seniority. When there is more than one vacancy and there are no bids, the unassigned carriers or full-time flexible carriers assigned to the vacancies may select their individual assignments by seniority. If a 204B loses his or her bid assignment under the provisions of Article 41.1.8.2, management may assign the 204B to a residual vacancy under the provisions of Article 41.1.8.7 while the employee remains in a 204B status. And there's a citation here. 41.1.B. B. Method of posting. 1. The notice inviting bids for letter carrier craft assignments and to such other assignments to which a letter carrier is entitled to bid shall be posted on all official bulletin boards at the installation where the vacancy exists, including stations and branches, as to assure that it comes to the attention of the employees eligible to submit bids. Copies of the notice shall be given to the local union. When an absent employee has so requested in writing, stating a mailing address, a copy of any notice inviting bids from the craft employee shall be mailed to the employee by the installation head. 2. Posting and bidding for duty assignments and or permanent changes in fixed non-work days shall be installation-wide, unless local agreements or established past practice provide for sectional bidding or other local method currently in use. Local implementation, scope of posting and bidding. Article 41.1.B.2 provides that posting and bidding for duty assignments and or permanent changes in fixed non-work days shall be installation-wide, unless the parties have negotiated a different method, such as bidding by specified sections pursuant to Article 30.B.21 and 30.B.22. 41.1.B.3. 3. The notice shall remain posted for 10 days unless a different length for the posting period is established by local negotiations. Local implementation, length of posting. Article 41.1.B.3 requires that the notice be posted for 10 days unless the parties have negotiated a different time period pursuant to Article 30.B.21 and 30.B.22. 41.1.B.4. 4. Information on notices shall be shown as below and shall be specifically stated. A. The duty assignment by position, title, and number. Dude, I may have to re-record this whole thing. B. Grade. C. Hours of duty, beginning and ending, including, in the case of a carrier technician assignment, the hours of duty for each of the component routes. D. The fixed or rotating schedule of days of work as appropriate. E. The principal assignment area, e.g., section and or location of activity. F. Invitation to employees to submit bids. G. Physical requirement unusual to the assignment. H. If a city carrier route is involved, the carrier route number shall be designated. If a carrier technician assignment is involved, the route number of the carrier technician assignment and the route numbers of the component routes shall be designated. I. Date of last inspection and date of last adjustment. See memos page 225 and 227. A duty assignment may include a permanent schedule which consists of different starting times on certain days of the service week. However, the decision to do so may not be arbitrary. The starting times of a carrier technician assignment is the same as the component routes which comprise the carrier technician assignment. And there's a citation here. And now we have a memo between the USPS and the NALC regarding Article 41 bid process. The parties agree that where telephone bidding is an alternate form of bidding, bids may be submitted by telephone. When computerized and telephone bidding are available to all employees in an installation, telephone and computerized bidding is mandatory. Date August 14th, 2000. 41.1.C. C. Successful bidder. 1. The senior bidder meeting the qualifications standards established for that position shall be designated the, quote, successful bidder, end quote. The national parties agreed to a National Memorandum of Understanding on March 16, 1987, M-00752, setting forth specific rules governing the bidding rights of a carrier who is temporarily disabled and unable to work his or her normal assignment. Such a carrier has the right to bid and be awarded a bid assignment so long as the carrier will be able to assume the bid for position within 6 months from the time the bid is placed. Upon management's request, the carrier must provide medical documentation showing that he or she will be able to do so. If the carrier is still unable to perform the duties of the bid for position at the end of 6 months, a second 6-month period is permitted if supported by new medical certification. The carrier must relinquish the assignment if he or she cannot work the bid for position within 1 year after the bid. A carrier who bids on a higher level position under these rules will not receive higher level pay until he or she is physically able to and actually performs work in the bid for a higher level position. Successful bidders who develop a disability after a position is awarded are entitled to retain the position if the disability is temporary. And there's a citation here. If the letter carrier's personal physician determines that the disability results from a medical condition that is permanent and stationary and prevents the letter carrier from performing the functions of the position, the letter carrier may be removed from the position and the position posted for bid. In cases where the medical condition is not a result of a job-related illness or injury and there is a dispute over whether the disabling condition is permanent or temporary based upon medical evaluations of the letter carrier's personal physician and the USPS physician, a third physician selected by the parties will be the final concerning the employee's medical condition and limitations, if any. Article 13.2.B.2. In cases where the disability is the result of a job-related illness or injury, the Postal Service is bound by the medical opinion accepted by the OWCP. 41.1.C.2. 2. Within 10 days after the closing date of the posting, the employer shall post a notice indicating the successful bidder, seniority date, and number. 3. The successful bidder must be placed in the new assignment within 15 days, except in the month of December. The 15-day period begins on the date the notice of the successful bidder is posted. Application of the December exception does not begin a new 15-day period. 41.1.C.4. 4. The successful bidder shall work the duty assignment as posted. Unanticipated circumstances may require a temporary change in assignment. This same rule shall apply to carrier technician assignments unless the local agreement provides otherwise. Carrier technician assignments. The 5 routes on a carrier technician string or group which constitute a full-time duty assignment are normally carried in the posted sequence. In the absence of any LMOU provisions or binding past practice concerning this issue, Article 5, management has discretion to move a carrier technician off the assignment he or she is working in the regular rotation to another route on the carrier technician's string. If a carrier technician is moved to another route on the string, that route becomes the carrier's assignment on that day for the purposes of Article 41.1.c.4 and the application of the overtime provisions of Article 8.5. If a carrier technician is moved to another route on the string with a different starting time, he or she still retains and is still entitled to be paid for the hours of his or her regular schedule. However, if appropriate advance notice of a schedule change is given, the carrier receives out-of-schedule pay instead. See the explanation of out-of-schedule pay under Article 8.4. Management may not move the carrier technician off the string entirely unless the LMOU so provides or unanticipated circumstances arise. It is not an unanticipated circumstance when the regular carrier, whose route the carrier technician is working, comes in and works his or her non-scheduled day. 41.1.d. D. Other positions. City letter carriers shall continue to be entitled to bid or apply for all other positions in the U.S. Postal Service for which they have, in the past, been permitted to bid or apply, including the positions listed below and any new positions added to the list. SP 2-188, Examination Specialist. SP 2-195, Vehicle Operations Maintenance Assistant. Examination Specialist and Vehicle Operations Maintenance Assistant, VOMA, positions are multi-craft assignments. Clerk, maintenance, Level 5 and 6 mail handlers, and motor vehicle employees are also eligible to bid for Examination Specialist positions. Clerks, maintenance, and Level 5 and 6 motor vehicle employees are also eligible to bid for VOMA positions. Letter carriers in these positions continue in the carrier craft bargaining unit with seniority, bidding, and representation rights. If selected, the employee remains in his or her craft and in the installation USPS letter. Oh, this is the citation here. They remain in their craft and their installation. However, a VOMA carrier is not eligible to place his or her name on an overtime desired list. And there's the citation here. All right, and I know this is a short episode, but I'm going to have to leave it here because I am sleepier than I had realized, and I'm reading poorly. So I don't want to just keep reading this and keep messing it up. So this episode that you're listening to right now is going to be 41.1, and we will pick back up in a very soon upcoming episode with 41.2. So that's all I have for now. I will catch you guys next time. Oh, and sorry about the reading errors in this one. I think the information is still, it's valid. It's just not my best effort at reading. What can I tell you? Not every day is going to be my best day. All right, I'll catch you guys next time.